Solomon, we have news from our southern mining operation.
I've got somebody here. I'll call you when the mineral's found.
The results from our samples have arrived. The area contains a large deposit of panite. Our workers are awaiting orders.
Focus all efforts on that mine. This bottle alone is worth millions.
That's not the only reason I came by. We have something more concerning to discuss.
Go on, Virgil.
One of our officers went rogue. The commissioner said he was sharing sensitive information with outside parties, and even mentioned some sort of revolution with the workers.
Make sure anyone he talked to is disposed of immediately. We can't have anyone spreading word of our operation.
Shall I dispose of the officer as well?
No, bring me to his holding cell. I want to make an example out of him. So, Officer Briggs, what can you tell me about this so-called revolution?
The revolution doesn't matter anymore. I've already told the commissioner about you and your operation. He'll be here any minute along with the rest of the force to take down you and your army.
You fool! Where do you think we got our intel from? We own the commissioner!
Virgil! So, are you going to tell me about this revolution? Or am I going to have to start killing your friends, one by one? Restrain him! Gather the workers. It's going to be quite the show. I've gathered you all here today to remind you of the consequences for stepping out of line. I'm sure most of you recognize Officer Briggs. A trusted source has been telling us that Briggs here has not been following the simple criteria lined out in his contract. Nobody here would know anything about that, right? Well, that is a relief. The coroner would have had his hands full. Any last words?
Enjoy these last few days. The uprising's already in motion. You'll be dead within the week.
We'll see about that. Virgil! Imbecile. Telling that traitor that the commissioner's working with us could have blown the entire operation.
What do you mean? Who could he have told about the commissioner?
If the workers come into contact with more people on the outside, the commissioner could be indicted. He is the only thing standing between this operation and jail time.
We lose the commissioner, we lose our immunity.
Exactly. Now learn to stop running your mouth or I'll find someone who can. Go make sure the workers find their way to the living quarters. We can't have anyone discussing the possibility of this revolution taking place.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, inside. We won't have any problems. All clear. As you can see, if we cease mining at all other sites and focus solely on the southern mine, our progression will drastically increase, but we will risk collapse, bringing our production and revenue to a complete halt.
Continue with the southern expansion as planned. If you can get me even a tenth of the panite you showed me earlier, it'll be worthwhile.
I'll have the explosives from all of the other sites transferred to the south.
This is Solomon.
An alarm was tripped at Block F. We took a look around and found footprints leading to the snack shack. They appear to be fresh.
I'll have my men pursue the fugitive immediately. Well, isn't that strange?
What's that, Solomon?
I seem to remember you telling me that all the workers have made it back to their quarters.
Why, of course. I watched each of them enter myself.
Then how do you explain a triggered alarm in Block F of the old buildings?
Well, I'm not sure.
This is strike 2, Virgil. Find the escaped worker, or it'll be in your best interest never to come back.
Understood. Right away, sir.
Not another step closer, Virgil.
Relax, I'm on your side. Solomon has been on edge ever since we found that mineral. I heard him talking about replacing it, but the only way you get out of my job is in a body bag. If there's a revolution, I want it.
And just why should I trust someone on Solomon's payroll?
You don't have to trust me, but you gotta admit, I'd be a powerful ally. I can get you closer to Solomon than anyone else.
When we take over, the mines are shut down and everyone's set free. Got it?
Anything you want. As long as Solomon is dead and I'm far away from here.
Okay, you want to bring down this whole operation? Here's the plan.
Well, I see you found my escapee.
Yes, sir.
What do you want, a medal? Tie her, I need to ask a few questions. And while you're at it, grab my dinner. Take a seat. So enlighten me. Why did you feel the urge to take a stroll down to the abandoned buildings in the middle of the night?
Well, simply put, I was getting the necessary supplies to fuel the revolution and ultimately put an end to you.
Well, I must say, that's not the answer I was expecting. Excuse me a second. Javier, you really outdid yourself tonight. The seasoning on this steak is wonderful. Where was I? Oh yes. I'm impressed you are prepared to die with pride. Virgil, gather the workers for a public execution. Perhaps killing this one put an end to their pathetic revolution.
No, I'm finished taking orders from you.
Watch who you're talking to. You're on thin ice.
You don't look so good, Henry. Yes, your vision's getting a little blurry.
And your legs are getting weaker.
And it's most likely you're having trouble processing what I'm saying right now.
What did you do, Virgil? What did you do?
You know, when we started this operation, it was a partnership. But at some point, you began to think that you were the leader. Now I find out that you're talking behind my back about replacing me? I guess you forgot. No one crosses Virgil Caswell.
I'll go and subdue the chef. Virgil, follow me to the radio tower.
It appears Solomon has been poisoned. Send medical to the snack shack immediately. I'm in pursuit with the suspect.
Virgil, I'm going to broadcast the audio over the walkie frequency. Virgil?
You thought I'd give up on this operation after I've invested years in it? We have finally found the panite, and without Solomon in the way, I can rightfully run the mine.
I knew you couldn't be trusted.
I suggest you hand over the SD card. Then the only other way this ends is with you dead.
That's where you're mistaken.
You can kill me, but it will not end the operation. One of the army commanders will replace me, and you'll be right back where you started.
Not if there is no army. Now that the army knows the truth, it appears you have two options. Either you are turned into the authorities, or I put a bullet in your head.
I'd rather die.
The reign of Solomon and Virgil has ended. You are now free to go home to your families.